Hello, this is Suraj from Express Automation. I've been planning to do a video series on API testing with Python, so I thought maybe it's better for us to make a video on basics. So, the first question that comes to everyone's mind is why do we even need to do API testing? I'm going to show you one diagram here. Okay, this is what we call a test pyramid. This figure, we can see that this is the common practice that is done by most of the IT companies. Okay, as this scale, this left-hand side scale represents how much faster we can write the test. Right-hand side it represents how much cost it takes to write different kinds of tests. As you can see, the unit tests should be done in abundance. This is completely white box testing. The person who knows the code base only can write these test cases. Usually developers do this. And then comes the service level test cases. This is API. This is what we call API level test cases. And then comes the UI test cases. As you can see, UI test cases takes a lot of resource and money, and also it takes a lot more time to write and to maintain. And API levels test cases or service level test cases, this can you can say this is a bit of a gray box testing, because you don't know what is all the things inside that goes on inside application, but you know you should know how the API works, what are the parameters, what is the response should look like. UI, this is completely black box. UI level test case is completely black box testing. You do not have you only see the front end, and you don't really know what is going on inside the application. Okay, then we usually focus on while we're writing API testing, we try to verify the functionalities of the application. This is as you can see from the diagram, the UI test cases must be kept at minimum, because this is very difficult to maintain, and it has a tendency to break. So if you write more service level test cases, that means for every one flow of UI test cases, you can have, for the same flow you can have multiple test suites in the API level with different sets of data, because UI part you should cover at its minimum. That is, one flow is enough for one test case, but if you want to test the same thing with different sets of data, it's better to do on an API level, because it's easy to handle. You don't have to worry about if any developer comes and changes some UI, or if there is some change in JavaScript or something like that. This is purely a back-end kind of testing what we do in API level. Then I have chosen Python for this. The main reason is that Python has a data structure called a dictionary. This is basically very helpful while passing JSON data. We can basically, it's almost looks similar to key value pair maps in Java or something like that, but basically the concept is you can directly take the JSON data even if it's in a string format, and you can easily pass it using a dictionary. You can convert into a Python object very easily. So that's the concept. Then Python is very easy to write, and also if you're using some kind of tool for doing API testing, usually you need to fill up probably some table for setting up some data, or handling the data is very difficult. Handling the data is easiest when you do it programmatically. Suppose you have to randomly generate some name or something like that. This is better left to programming language. It can be a headache if you're using a kind of tools for doing this kind of tests. Yeah, those are the reasons actually why I chose Python, and generally people choose Python. Okay, and what are the things we need before starting with this? We'll need a Python in your system. To get Python, you can just go to okay, you can just type install Python based on your operating system, and probably the first link you get will be python.org. You can just, it's an executable, you'll download the executable file, and you can just download the latest version 3.x something. Yeah, it's better to go with this 3.6.4 or something. Don't go with 2x version. Then next, what was on the list? IDE. I am using PyCharm IDE. This is a little bit heavy. You can say heavyweight IDE, but yeah, it's a better if you're doing a project. If you're using some small scripts or something, like you can just use a basic lightweight like Notepad++ or some other IDEs. But this is a very good IDE that you can, for example, renaming your variables or refactoring would be a lot more easier if you're using this kind of IDE. And yeah, to install it, you can just go what is it? PyCharm. Just type PyCharm install. Search for PyCharm on your browser, and yeah, JetBrains.com will give you the download link. Just click on it. You can download the executable. There's a pro version and a community version. I think community version is free. You don't have to pay anything. You can go with the community version if you want. You can IDE probably professional will provide you much more benefits. If you're using it, planning to use it professionally, you can go with that. And once you have installed Python, okay, let me just go to my command prompt here. This should work. If I type Python and hit enter, it should give me Python console. I'm going to just quit it. And the last but not the least, this is the request. This is the library that I'm planning to use, request library. Okay, this will help you to basically get API response. This is an HTTP client library you can use for testing your APIs. Okay, let's just go to command prompt, and I'm going to just this is the command you will be using: pip install request, and hit enter. This should install request library on your system. You should have pip installed. You can, if you don't know how to do that, you can refer some videos. There are plenty of resources available online for that. But just in case, if you have any problem with installing just this command, you might want to try Python -m pip install request. If you hit enter that, I have already installed, so it says already requirement already satisfied. In your case, it will download the package and install it. So these are the things you should know before getting into API testing. Then again, this model is very important. See, these two things can be handled by a tester, but this has to be written by unit testing, has to be done by a developer. But UI and service level tests can be easily written by a tester. It's not a big deal. So yeah, and also very important note that a UI test should be at as minimum as possible. You should try to get more coverage out of the exposed API or backend testing as much as possible. So that's the end of this tutorial. Thank you for watching.